Hello and welcome to Impact. If you're watching this video as part of your induction, I hope you're going to enjoy working at Impact as much as I do. If you do have any problems whilst you're working for us, we're now going to outline the grievance and disciplinary proceedings so as you're aware of what you need to do in the event of you being unhappy with something. So, a grievance is defined as a complaint by an employee and they want to take some action against their employer. They contemplate what their grievance is and what it's about, and it may be a concern or a problem at work, it may be about their working conditions, it may be about a relationship with their manager, it may be about a relationship with their colleague. What we always ask people to do, if it isn't about their line manager, is to talk to their manager first about their grievance. And hopefully, if they have that chat with the manager, the issues can be resolved at that stage before reverting to our formal procedures. Issues that may cause you to want to raise a grievance include your terms and conditions of employment, health and safety issues, work relations, bullying and harassment, changes of working practices, your working environment, something that's happening throughout the organisation, any change that we may be proposing, or discrimination and harassment. Many potential grievances, as I said earlier, can be resolved informally by speaking to your line manager. That is our preferred approach at Impact Housing. If we can resolve things informally, we would choose to do so. However, we will absolutely take seriously any concerns you raise that cannot be resolved informally in the first instance. If you don't feel that your issue has been resolved, then you can begin to pursue it down the formal route. To raise the issue formally, you should put in writing the nature of your grievance, and you should send that to the HR department, usually Pam Stainton. Impact will investigate your grievance and will hold a meeting with you to discuss the grievance in more detail. You can be accompanied to that meeting by a trade union rep if you're a member of our recognised union, or you can be assisted by a trusted colleague. Following the meeting and any necessary additional investigations, the meeting chair will form a decision on your grievance. They will then feed that decision back to you. And if you are not satisfied with the outcome of their investigation, you are able to appeal that decision. You should never be discouraged from pursuing a grievance because of fear of reprisals. I absolutely give you our word that there will be no reprisals. The grievance is part of our formal procedure to make sure things at work smoothly and you're happy in your work. So if you do have any concerns and you don't want to go down that route straight off, why do you not speak to a member of HR, your union rep or your line manager, and they'll be able to help you. The other side to that is disciplinary. Disciplinary rules and procedures are necessary for promoting good employee relations, as well as ensuring fairness and consistency and the treatment of individuals, which is at the heart of what we're about at Impact Housing. Disciplinaries enable organisations to influence the conduct of staff and deal with any performance issues, any attendance issues, or any other issues that are affecting the fairness and smooth running of our business. They enable us to operate effectively, and the rules are set out as a standard conduct of performance, and we expect everyone to adhere to those. We do have some procedures, we have some key documents, we have policies that will help you to understand our systems and ways of working, and we ask you to observe them, and when they are breached, it may result in a disciplinary proceedings. It's important that you make yourself familiar with all of our standards of conduct and the level of performance expected from you. Your manager should make that very clear to you before you commence in your employment. That will be shared at your induction, and if it isn't, you need to speak to the manager if you are not clear about our expectations and the procedures you need to follow. Disciplinary proceedings should never be viewed merely as a way of imposing sanctions. They should be a way of helping and encouraging and a shared learning experience for both the organisation and the employee, where we can ensure that we always learn from any processes, whether it be grievance or whether it be disciplinary, to ensure that we improve our processes and systems all the time. Again, going back to ways of resolving these, potential disciplinary issues can be resolved informally. For example, with a discussion with your line manager, a discussion with the HR team. You may require additional training, coaching, and we'll give advice on what may be necessary. However, again, if the issue cannot be resolved informally, where matters are more serious, that is the time we will pursue them formally. The procedure will be used where there's an alleged breach of our ways of working, a breach of impacts rules, a failure to meet accepted standards of conduct, of safety or of fair working practices. If your customer care standards have not met the required level that we ask for as an organisation, and more seriously if there's any negligence, issues of capability or lack of application by yourself. Capability. It's important that all staff know what their standards of performance are and what we expect from them, and I would urge you, if you're not clear of those at this stage, to speak to your line manager. The manager will apply policies and procedures in a fair way to ensure you meet any satisfactory performance requirements. We manage performance and capability on a day-to-day basis, and we have line management systems and appraisals to help us do this. If we feel someone is falling below the required standard of capability, then we would begin that as a discussion with them. We look at every opportunity for them to improve, and where that is not possible and they're not going to achieve the acceptable level of performance, we start to work with them to look at how we can offer them any sort of coaching. If that's not possible, then additional training would be offered, and if none of those are possible, we will at that point start to work through the formal capability process with you. If anything that I've discussed today isn't clear, in the first stage I would ask you to speak to your line manager or an HR representative. I hope that everything is understandable at that point. Thank you for joining Impact. I hope you'll have a long and happy career with us, and good luck in your new job.